Yeah, so first card up is Free Spirit, which is a 1 mana, 1/2 undead beast, battle cry, and death rattle. Your hero power gains 1 more armor this game. So the first of this new little like bonk hero power druid thing. Um, I really wish this was I really wish this was the actual like power and the cat was the armor, but it might have been way too good. But um I don't know. I don't really feel very strongly towards this as an archetype, but I think these cards could be used as like a part of a deck, but never be the full focus of a deck. So I'm kind of just want to give this like a 2.
Hero powering ends it.
Yeah, I think focusing on the hero power and like focusing on like having to click the 2 mana button as your whole like deck theme is kind of what brings it down a lot. I think there's gonna be a lot of decks that maybe run the package as an early game thing. Like I think if you get the hero power to be a 3 power, 3 armor gain, anything like the old Malfurion hero was, I think that's fine. But is it worth running the package? I'm not so convinced yet.
Yeah, I feel the same about it. I think it's kind of mid. Druid's kind of struggling to have a win condition, I feel like, right now that they can't do Bran, Astalor, and they don't have Guff and can't go past 10 mana. So, yeah, I don't really know what Druid's identity will be. There's a few things that are interesting that we'll see, but I think for now, I'll probably give this a 3. I think it would probably be played, but it's not, like, the greatest thing.
Are we on the cat or the spirit?
Spirit.
Spirit.
Spirit,
The
the
armor.
armor one.
Oh, I think
Yep.
I think the spirit one is worse than the cat.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Agreed.
I agree.
So, like,
Yeah.
who on the spirit?
Yeah, 2 for me as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. And
I'm
I
also
think
going with a 2.
I don't know about all of you. Like, I think I'm only giving this a 2 because you could potentially get this effect twice, like as a battle cry and death rattle. If it were only one or the other, this would be so bad.
I don't
Oh,
like
go
the
next.
fact
And
that
I
this
think-
card exists, but
And I
I
think
can't
the
rate it very
attack
high.
is way better because
Yeah.
like when we get to that because like the druid already gains a ton of armor already, so it's just like I don't think it's adding any value that I want in my deck really.
Oh, agreed.
Oh, Peaceful Piper. So we got Peaceful Piper, a woman, a 1/1, choose one, draw a beast, or discover one. I mean, I think it's solid. Again, it's good, but it's good that it tutors. I think that's the biggest thing. It tutors specifically be so. If you don't want to run the spirit, you can run the attack one that we'll have coming up, and you can kind of just run them as kind of a little package if you want to. And if there's any or bigger beast, then I guess you can also draw them.
Bottom feeder tutor.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm still giving this like I think I might still just give this a 2, maybe.
Yeah. It's a 2 for me as well.
It's a
Yeah.
2 for me. Yeah.
I'm feeling 2 because I think we probably run the hero power cards in the deck, and like this one, it might not make the cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also on a 2 for this. I like that it's cheap and you get to tutor draw, but I don't know if there's any beasts that we really want all that badly. Park Panther's still around, right? No, it's gone.
No.
Yeah. Okay, that's real bad. Draws you Kolak? Is that a thing?
Hey, I
It is
got
not.
legend lots of times with Kolak. I love that thing, but we have other cards coming up that can probably draw that better. So but I think we're all kind of in agreement on the card so far. So
It's
Are
no
you talking
Moonlit Guidance.
no, it's not.
Yo, hero power cards would be mega broken with Moonlit Guidance, though.
Yeah, they would. That card's gonna have such an impact on the class. So
Is this Peaceful Piper we're talking about?
yes.
Yeah.
I think that card's good. Oh, whoa! What's wrong with this card?
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's just what we're doing with it. Like, what beast are we actually searching for outside of, I guess, the hero power one?
The
I guess.
cat.
What cat?
The
The
groovy
cats we're
cat.
going to talk about next. Yeah, the hero
Yeah,
power
yeah,
cards
yeah,
are,
yeah, yeah.
are beasts. It's true.
We
Yeah.
like groovy cat. That's all I know.
I mean, he's a groovy cat.
Yeah. Oh, let's move to that one then. Here you go. There it is.
All right, so Groovy Cat, 2 mana, 2/1, Battle Cry and Death Rattle. Your hero power gives gives it hero one more attack this game, and it's a beast. I think this one is far better than the armor one. In my mind, if the armor one was a 2, then this is definitely a 3 at least for me. I mean, I think this and the Peaceful Piper could be run a lot as just as a package, because 3 attack hero power is pretty relevant, I'd say, to for a little bit more reach and a little bit easier to kill things for 2 mana a lot of times if you're getting a lot of armor. So
Yeah, I think it's definitely better. I'm still gonna give it a 3 like the other one though. I think you probably played them both.
yeah, I'm good at 3.
I like it as a 3, especially because we can run 2 copies in our deck. So, you know, you play this early. Maybe you are, in fact, playing that tutored draw just to get your Groovy Cats, and it's like your only beast that you actually run in the deck or something. And then, I mean, if you have 2 of them played and die, you're doing 5 damage every turn for 2 mana. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, this one's fantastic. I have it as a 3, but honestly, I might even put it up to a 4. I'm thinking about how impactful adding 1 damage to the mage hero power was. And this has a similar feel. You do have to attack with it though, which is like, but I don't know. This one is really great. Agree, definitely, that this is way better than the armor one. And it's also easier to kill, so a little bit easier to get that death rattle and add even more attack as well.
Yeah, this card is nice. We like groovy
Yeah.
cat. It's only actually playable because there's no guff. Because I'd rather have the guff hero power, but
I mean, I think there's even a world where they play this card in like in some form of aggro druid, and you just put this in there to have your hero power be reach and it like
Oh,
game like
yeah.
a burn spell kind of. So yeah.
even Druid gamers stand up.
What's the next card on the list here?
Harmonic Mood.
Harmonic Mood. Wow. See, I circle back to these cards that flip back and forth. I just don't like that effect a lot. Because you have like one side that's pretty good and one side that's like very good. For what these druid decks will probably be doing. Like the difference between one side of this card and the other side of this card is one side of this card, you gain 4 armor and you might kill something, and then the other side you have the draw spell is free. You're definitely probably killing something on the board or dealing damage phase and still gaining armor. And I don't know. I kind of feel like I think it's still strong enough to be maybe a. I'm gonna give it a 2 though. I think it's not quite a 3 for me.
Harmonic Mood?
Yeah.
You're giving it a 2?
Yeah, I don't think it's as good as it seems.
Oh,
this
this
a
is
hot take.
This is my first
Maybe it's a hot
5 of
take.
the set. I freaking love this
What?
card. Dude, this
I'm
card's
ready.
amazing.
Yeah, so
Maybe
yeah,
that's my
him
hot take.
giving it
I
a two-
mean,
giving it a 2 is kind of wild. It definitely is a 1.
I mean, I think I would rather play Wrath than this card in a lot of cases. So, like, just being honest. So,
I mean, this is just no matter which one it is, if it's 2 attack and 4 armor or 4 attack and 2 armor, that's just better than a hero power. Right? Like every time.
I mean, yeah, but
Not after groovy cat.
But the Harmat, yeah,
True.
I mean the Harmatic Mood is pretty lackluster compared to any 2 mana removal druid spell, and then the other side is very very good. So that's why it's hard to judge these cards, is because you don't really have control of which good side you're getting. And I think some of the other ones are like the classes can use both of them more fairly, and I think the 2 power attack one on this one is kind of just trash. So
Okay, I will just say, That
Okay.
also, like, I loved the crap out of my Boomkin when I played WoW, and also the artwork of like the harmonic mood, the first one being like all happy and there's like a rainbow in the sky, and then the other one being like at night and there's like a glow. Fantastic, friggin' tastic, love it,
Oh, I understand. I was a Boomkin too, so
love it.
like I
So
loved
good.
Kiri when they came out originally. Like I wanted it, but yeah, that's my hot take. It's a 2. I think you'll see play in maybe the very very like super linear, trying to make your hero power as big as possible deck maybe, but outside of that, I think people are gonna not run as much.
You know, the
Yeah.
worst part about this card is that it starts on the worst side. So, like, if you top deck it, it's the worst one.
Indeed.
I mean, I
And
don't know. I kind of like this card. I'm giving it a 3, personally, because I feel like it's if you're running Groovy Cat, you probably want to run this card. You probably want to run Spread the Word, which we'll talk about in like a couple of cards. And maybe just the first Groovy Cat is almost enough for the free Spread the Word, but Harmonic Mode can get you there. Obviously, you really want the Dissonant version, but even if you get the Harmonic version, it's not too bad. It might be your push over the top. Also, this set, what's coming back in core is Solar Lunar, right? So you
Mhm.
could solar this on Dissonant and get 8 power, right? And use that as a finisher.
Yeah.
Like that seems strong to me. I don't know. I feel like it's worth calling it a 3. I'll stick it with 3.
Yeah, I'm with Ron on this. I feel like the only reason I'm running this card is because of Spread the Word, and otherwise it just doesn't really do anything. So, and I think we want to run Spread the Word in our deck, and this really helps out with that. And yeah, the solar application's kind of nice. I'll give it a 3. I don't think it's amazing.
By the way, Solar Lunar is still 6.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just
The
love the
one
cards.
See.
All right.
What's the next card?
Next one, Rhythm and Roots.
Rhythm and Roots, the legendary spell. Okay. We have 4 mana nature spell. Choose one secretly. Summon 3 5/5 ancients in 2 turns, or 8 giants in 4 turns. This is a hard one. It's really good if you played early. And it can be okay if if Druid going forward is a deck that can last a long time in the game. But I think that it's because it's so slow that it's hard for me to put this past a 2. Um, like I think there's gonna be decks that play it, but I don't think it's gonna be too great. It does go very, very well with one of the spells that we're gonna talk about later for Druid. That I think is the only hope for this card. So, um, but yeah, I'll give it a 2.
I think it's funny that this is choose secretly because there's no shot I'm ever picking 4 turns away.
Yeah.
Like,
Not a-
we're always picking 5/5s. And also, I'm probably never picking 5/5s because I'm never playing this card because it's really bad. It says 4 mana do nothing for multiple turns. Like, you play this on 4, you don't get them till turn 6, you don't get to even attack with your minions until turn 7. This is just really sad. Why don't they have taunt or something? I'm
They will.
definitely.
I get,
On
yeah,
turn
they will.
7.
That's part of the combo. So,
I mean, you probably don't run this
Yeah,
card
you
without
play
the
it
other
with
card.
the
I give this a
circle, but-
2 for the same reason Kraken gave it a 2. If 1, 2, 3, 4 cards from now, if that card that we're going to talk about doesn't exist, this is a 1.
yeah, and because
Okay,
I
that's
think
fair
there's a
application.
like, it's weird because it's just I don't know. Drew doesn't have a like a crap ton of like 4-drop, so I think I honestly can say this does just playing this like, oh, here's a 4-drop. Because I think our only good 4-drop returning probably is the crap, what's his name, the Tinder, the one that ramps and draws a nature spell, Bloom Tinder, whatever it's called.
Widow Bloom.
Yeah, Widow Bloom. Yeah, so I can see Dreditch just playing this shit to play it, kind of, but
I mean, this card is a one of, and it's like only good early game. Like this
yeah,
card
yeah,
top deck is so abysmal. Actually,
yeah.
I'm going back to one.
That-
I can't see it. I can't. There's
Talk
no shot.
himself
Fights.
down.
This is not in my deck. Like, come on.
All right.
That's okay.
I'm putting this as a 2 as well, but I will say I mean you know, like for me, I'm like, it's got to hit face or it's got to impact the board. Those are like my two big things. These don't hit face and they don't impact the board in terms of other than just like putting the stats out when they wake up. I'm a little hesitant because initially I want to be like, this is so bad and you can't do anything with them. But also I think we all said that about like dormant stuff like wild seeds. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, but then when you mix it with other things that, you know, you can tradable doggy biscuit and give it rush or do something else, and it becomes a little better. I do also like that this is a nature spell, I will say, because I think with Guff and some other stuff rotating out, oh, what's his face? The Shrub Gazor, I think gets a bit better.
That's one of the reasons why I'm giving it 2 is because I feel like if you do draw this late game in your Topiary deck, and now that we have a way to draw him like consistently and play him on 6 like every game, I think there's gonna like you play this and you still get a 3/3 with rush or whatever.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or 3/3.
This card's here, so if you did a pre-order, you'll get this one as your golden legendary.
Oh, don't jinx it! Now that's what I'm gonna get. Dang it!
I'll take it, golden. I mean.
Yeah,
I mean, at least I could disenchant it and craft the regular one.
800 dust is fine, right?
Extra.
Or 1600 dust, I guess. For,
there you go.
Dust.
Yeah, this is so much worse than Wild Seeds. It's not even funny.
Yeah, it is.
Also,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure we thought Wild Seeds were good, right?
I think we
And
thought
nobody thinks this is good.
but like this card is like Slopium. This shit is crazy. Yeah, we're never playing this.
Slopium.
Yeah, this just
Slopium.
makes the Discover for nature spells worse.
Yeah. It's okay. There's a different format spell that's not a legendary.
Who needs to discover 3 things when you can have this and 2 better options? You really only have a discover of 2.
That's what I'm saying, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's narrowing your choices for you.
Yeah, if you're tired, then you just know you never pick this, so then you have only 2 to pick from. It's a 50-50, you get the good one.
There you go.
Love it.
All right. What is the next one?
The word. Spread the word.
Spread the word.
Got a bird. Why?
Amazing.
So on the face, this card is like incredibly just easily a very good card. It's going to be free a lot of times in the decks it's played in. The fact I don't think the hero power stuff is that great is what brings it down a little bit, but the card itself is pretty good. It's like I like the other stuff being a lot worse than I think it wants to be. Makes me want to bring it down to a 3, but it's probably a 4 maybe.
Pretty sure I rated cutting class really low. Yeah, I think I rated cutting class really low, so I'm not rating this low.
Yeah, we learned our lesson. I'm calling this one a 4. You're almost never playing this for its real cost. Like, that'd be insane that you spend 4 on this. That's not happening. You're almost in every case going to be spending 0 to draw 2 with this card. And that's pretty nutty, especially when it draws itself and you play the other one for an additional 2 draw.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Rake is such a good card, and we're definitely running that in our deck. So, I mean, that just alone also gives you +2 attack.
Yep. Groovy Cat, Rake, Harmonic Mood, Spread the Word. It all goes really well together.
I mean, even on turn 5, just a regular, like, base hero power, and then playing this for 3. It's, okay, that's an Arcane Intellect, which is still great, right? Like, this is a good card.
Definitely a good card.
It's a 4 for me.
I'll go with 4. It is also my favorite art from the set. I love it.
I mean, the name, the art is incredible.
Yeah, I think the only reason I'm giving it a 3 is because I don't see it being run in every Druid deck. So I'm gonna give it a 3. I think it's a very strong card though.
Yeah, I agree with Kraken on that one. I don't think it's gonna be running every Druid deck, but I think it's gonna be running a specific game attack deck. So it's a 3, but it's a super. I mean, it's a free mana draw 2.
Okay, well, easy agrees, I guess.
Yeah, that was an easier one. That one's pretty obvious.
Poppin'.
All right, there's the weapon for you now, Kraken.
We get a tambourine. We got the tambourine. Quite the instrument for us, I guess. But Yeah, so we have Timber Tambourine, 4 mana, 2/3 weapon, Death Rattle, summon 1/5/5 ancient, play cards that cost 5 or more while this card is equipped to improve. So if there wasn't a neutral card that drew a weapon in this set, I would have given this card a 2 at best. But I think the fact that we can consistently probably get it on 4 and just casually play cards, and the fact that we don't have Druids, Ramp Druid's not going to have like this like definite win con versus this other slower decks anymore. I think having a way to stack up 5/5s and just have a way to rebuild our board once they wipe the board is going to be an important thing to the deck. So I'm going to give it a 3.
Yeah, just a note here as well. The number of ancients is what improves. So it'll be like summon 1 5/5, then summon 2 5/5, summon 3 5/5s. There'll always be 5/5 bodies, but you just get an increased number of them. But I agree with you. I think this is actually pretty solid. I also gave it a 3. I'm also kind of excited to play this in a Topior style deck too, which, you know, you're gonna play some cheap nature stuff, but there's some 5, 6, 7 cost things that you're gonna play, and even just having a weapon for Druid plus attack increases in some of that too seems solid.
Yeah,
Do you
you
still
can,
have pounce?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can do some you can stack up the number of ancients pretty fast in decks that run like Green Thumb Gardener, where you can just play like a 5/5 and then you get your mana back and you play another 5 mana thing and then, you know, continue from there and all that.
Yeah, I like this card as the 3. Even just something as simple as like playing this with pounce lets you draw some free cards as well with the 4 mana spell we were just looking at. The only turn this card is actually bad is the turn you play it, and you might have some applications for it not to be that bad on the turn you play it, and it can get really good later. But I like the fact that you just get extra attack power like as a baseline already for multiple turns when you have cards that have payoffs for that. So seems solid, seems strong.
No, I am in agreement. I will give it a 3.
Wait, is this the one that weapon?
Druid weapon.
Why do they keep? Okay, what's up with printing cards that like summon a bunch of like blink stars, just like have no impact? It's so weird because like we've gone from everything summoning something that either has taunt or rush to like none of the things summoning things that have taunt or rush. It's so weird to see the of that. But
maybe just because it's the first set in a brand new rotation, so they don't want the cards to be like really busted.
I
Lower
suppose
the power level.
4 months ago, this card would have been 4 mana, 4/4 weapon, summon 2 5/5.
With rush.
Yeah. 2 5/5 trance, they're flicking you off, you know, like.
I don't know. 5/5s are cool, but a 2/3 weapon on 4 is kind of awful. I think this is not good. I think it's a 1.
It's a Timber Tambourine. I tried.
You listen. Hey, kudos to you because you went there.
You tried. Attempt was made. All right. How about Flower Child?
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, this is one of my 2 4s of Druid, I guess. I think this card is the best Druid card in the set for us. It's 5 mana, 4/5 battle cry. Draw 2 cards that cost 6 or more. Finale, they cost 1 less. I mean, there's a lot of times where you're just, you know, I think that Nourish's value is going to go down a lot this set without Guff. I think that still playing Wild Growth to get to 5 mana is an important thing, though. So I think you could see this maybe one of the easier finale ones outside of maybe the 1-drop card. And there's a lot of good 7-drops that if you could curve after this card that make them 6 that are really relevant. You know, you got Under King, you have Topier, you have the new card coming up. And, you know, being able to pick what you draw late in the game, being able to draw your big things when you want it in big decks is pretty relevant because, you know, ramp decks either don't draw the ramp to get to their big things or they don't aren't able to draw their big thing. So having a card that kind of lets you pick that draw is pretty important, and mana reduction's good. So I'm going to give it a 4.
And reduction's really good with Solar Eclipse too. Being able to like
Yeah.
solar a drum circle earlier in the game, kind of
Yeah.
insane. Yeah, I really like this card. I'm giving it a 4.
Yeah, I agree as a 4 on this one too. Thinking about like using this to draw Topia for turn 6, and multiple other like super powerful things that you can do that are nice payoffs. It even makes like the turn 4 bad legendary spell into the drum circle not seem that terrible.
I think it's 3. I'll give it a 3. I think it's a good card. I like Topia on 6 for sure.
Yeah, I'm putting it at a 4. I kind of bounce between 3 and 4, so definitely on the same page as y'all. But sometimes I would want a card like this to draw specifically either minions or spells. But I think in Druid, especially, and having that finale, I like it just drawing 2 cards that cost 6 or more, because some of the big spells, like, you don't want that, right? So having the flexibility of actually discounting minions too feels fantastic, and it really sets up this finale is much better than some of the other finales of like discovering something, because it sets up for a really nice curve play. And this just the fact that it discounts permanently is also fantastic, right? Like, it's, you could play that whenever and it's still discounted. Great.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point of that. The finale cards that seem better on paper are the ones where the finale, like, result is something that you don't mind happening at the end of turn, because it's just you're prepping for the next turn, or
Yeah.
goes with the effect like that. Drum circle. Oh, we get back to back. Okay, yeah. So the other, I'm going to say this is my other 4 of the Druid cycle or set. I think a lot of the Druid decks will be based around trying to get this card to work. And a lot of it is going to be, I think, just because we don't have something like Pathfinder, whatever that Druid card was that cast the other side. You're going to be trying to make these big 8/8s from the legendary spell with 2/4s with taunt. You're going to try making the 5/5s from the weapon plus 2/4 with taunt. Just make these big walls and stuff like that, and say deal with it. And if not, I think Ramp Druid or Big Druid is going back to kind of a style of Hearthstone that before Guff existed, where like ramp decks, they had like early game removal, but they still struggled against aggro. They beat the mid range decks, but then the hardcore control decks could just outboard wipe them. And I think that's definitely a possibility. But I think it does. It's a good addition to the Topiary deck. It works really well with Green Thumb Gardener. So I'm gonna give it a 4.
Yeah, I think with Solar Eclipse, this is insane because you can choose one twice. You can pick 5 2/2s and then instantly give them all +2/+4.
No, I don't think that's how that worked, because if I remember correctly, with choose one cards, when you solar eclipse them, you get the same effect twice, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is.
You don't get to
You
choose
solar
two
and you
different.
choose, and then whatever your
Yeah.
choice was gets
I think
solared.
I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure I heard like wild players saying that they've solar branching paths all the time and pick different ones.
Did they change it?
If they change it, that
Yeah.
just is this. I might put this at 5. I don't know, but like, um,
Yep.
but
Same
even
option
without
twice.
that, I say what?
You keep the same option twice. You don't.
Okay, you do keep
Okay.
the same option twice.
I think even with that, I think that if you're a Topiary deck and you're consistently just repeatedly making these 3/3 boards, like even doing the +2/+4 twice is going to be fine a lot of times. And there's going to be a lot of moments where you're facing down an aggro deck, and the aggro deck's got you at like 5 or 6, and they just got to get there, and you crack the weapon, and you get 4 or 5/5s, and then you taunt them up, and you're like, I win. So
Yeah, I like this as a 4 as well. I mean, despite how solar might work if we're wrong and it does actually let you choose, it's super insane. But even if not, like solar plus drum circle, you could do that for maybe 8 mana with this getting discounted, and you've already ramped to, just as one example, summon things with the weapon and other things. Like it's just a ton of stats. Um, it seems pretty strong, and it's a nature spell for Topier, so all of those things are quite good.
Yep. I gave it a 4 for all those reasons. I mean, plus, yeah, it's the nature spell for Topior. This is something that's more expensive, so if you play that Summer Flower Child, you could get this as 6 mana. You have the flexible options. There's ways to create bodies. I mean, honestly, this could be a benefit for that the legendary Rhythm and Roots. Like if you play Rhythm and Roots, get those 8/8s, or honestly, even if you pick the 5/5s, 3/5/5s, and then you can give them stats. Like, yeah, there's just it feels flexible. It's not maybe necessarily as good as some of the other 7 mana spells that Druid has had, but it still feels real nice.
This card is gonna make me feel so good for running Kane in my Demon Hunter deck.
Oh, that's right. He's back.
True.
It's gonna be amazing. They're gonna make this giant mega taunted board, and I'm gonna say "found you," and they're gonna die. It's gonna be awesome.
Found
I'm
you.
just-
I don't like expensive board buffs. I think this is a 1.
Yo, I love
There's
the
just
Itachi
no
one.
way.
Respect to Tachi. Well, the thing you got to give this a bad name now that you give it a 1.
It's like, I don't know. It's a 7 mana board buff, and like
Bum
the 2/2s
circle?
that is
Circle.
bum circle. It literally is bum. Okay, 5. First of all, 5 is respectful because we just left Scale of Onyxia, which was 7 mana for 7 2/1s with Rush and a Partridge in a Pear Tree. So like to change from that to this just seems a little disrespectful to Druid. I don't know. And then like, what board am I buffing on 7 if I've gotten to 7 with a token deck?
I mean,
I mean,
all our tokens are big anyway. Like the weapon's gonna be cracking on turn 6 or 7. So
yeah, well, he's
Like,
consistent because he rated the weapon a 1, so it works.
yeah.
I mean, I think this is like a fair card, and comparing it to Scale of Onyxia is almost unfair because Scale of Onyxia was just busted. Like, there was just way too good of a card, which is definitely the card I was thinking.
play a 2/3 weapon on 4. We play a draw 2 cards on 5 and then attack with our weapon. We play a Topior 6 mana 5/5 on 6, and then we break the weapon on 7 and taunt the like. What are we doing? We're dead. We are dead.
Could be.
We have lunar eclipses to like make things cheaper and do multiple things in a turn. So it's
I mean, that's fair. Just that like we played a
innervates.
weapon and then this spell.
It's okay.
There you go.
Okay, for what it's worth, I just went into practice mode and tested Solar Eclipse with the choose one, and I am wrong. You were right. You get the sale twice. Just to confirm.
Yeah, that interaction that we've seen for like Wild might just be the actual branching paths effect and not the solar.
Yeah, potentially.
They should have given it choose 3 then.
Dang it, choose 3. Come on. Let's get it.
Is branching different because you choose multiple times?
I think
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yep.
Makes sense.
We gotta talk about Problem Child here. So this is the bane of my deck building existence yesterday. You'll learn here in a minute, but it was 7 mana 6/6 Zoc Fog Snout Battle Cry summon 2/1/1 Quillbore with taunt. Improve by your hero attack and armor gain this turn. We learned through a post that me and Tom Berry made yesterday from the source themselves that if the attack improves the attack and the armor improves the toughness. So if you only gain armor, then they are like 1/8, or if you only gain attack, it's like 5/1s. So it's
yeah.
The dream is dead. So even though the dream is dead, I do think the combo with a new Barak of this card and stuff like that, making some really big 1-something taunts as defense is not terrible. I think there's ways to make this okay. I think it could see some fringe play. I don't really know how or what yet, but I'm giving it a 2. It's very close to 1 though.
Okay, we play a Nubricon. We play this. We play
King.
Under King. We
Yeah.
get 120s, and the next turn we play Drum Circle. Game over. Yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, because in my head I was like, oh, 120 taunts are just bad, and then I'm just like, but what decks consistently are getting through 2 120s very
Found you.
easily? Yeah, there you
Wow.
So
Just don't
it's
give to
like,
Ron. It's fine.
so outside of Ron, and all the emo boys out there, I think that it's not as bad because it's still like 846 in stats. So it's a lot of defense, and Druid likes defense to give it more time a lot of times. So I'm going to give it a 2 because I think there's some playability there a little bit, but
I cannot wait to see a board full of 120s and then just playing Blood Boil and watching you struggle to try to kill me by doing one
oh
man.
no.
I heal every. Oh, it's gonna be great. Oh,
Honestly,
no.
that's kind of rude.
This card, I think this card is good though. I think it's actually like a 3. I think that summoning some big dudes with taunt is not bad, and the interaction with the new Barak makes me feel like I don't have to play cards like I don't have to play the free spirit thing that makes your hero power gain armor too. I can just play the Groovy Cat, gain a bunch of attack, and then do things with that. And then once I do a new Barak, they'll gain all the defense that they need. So I think this card is a 3 at least.
I'm
I have
only
no
putting
idea
it
how to
as 2.
evaluate this. This
I
one's
think it's a
weird.
hard one to evaluate because it's
yeah.
really, really hard to evaluate.
In terms of
Giving it a
everything
2.
else that's summoning stuff, this is summoning the best things.
Also, I'm assuming, just as a thought experiment, that if this card, for instance, was in your ETC, it doesn't get improved right until you actually discover it from your ETC.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
Wait,
Yeah.
it doesn't improve. Like, doesn't it come to your hand improved? It doesn't need to be in your hand to improve.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
it's
is
just
turn.
whatever that
Yeah.
turn though.
The text
It's
says
just the same
this turn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm on a 2. That's a 2.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
it's this turn.
Yeah, it's only
Oh,
for
I
the
can
turn. Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading it like you were, Atashi. It was like this game, and I was like, oh, this might be...
No, you're
Oh,
going
It's
to
a
have to
game,
do this.
bro. That
You're
would
either
be
going to have
mega broken.
yeah,
Oh,
this card like kind of
I'll
only
give
works.
this a
with
6
Yeah.
if it was this game.
This has to get played on an Anubricon turn to be like playable, right?
Yeah, basically.
I mean,
Yeah.
or
Well,
you
okay,
have
okay,
to
okay,
play all
okay,
that
there's-
stuff, right? Like
There's a couple ways you can go about it. You can play like the location, the Druid location with already like a like Under King on the board or something like that.
Oh,
Activates
sure,
effect
okay.
wise. You can also this probably won't happen. You can play Kolak with the same way. But yeah, I think a lot of times the minions are just gonna be very, very big booty taunts, and they're gonna sit there, and buying us enough time to do other things may be okay. I don't know. I just don't know how to evaluate. So
Yeah.
yeah, I can definitely see
I like
that.
this French.
Yeah, I agree. I think there is a case for something like that and building that, but I do think that falls in the fringe where it's like it's only kind of be used in that deck. Like you're not gonna see this in aggro
100%.
Druid. You're not gonna see this but it'll be specifically in like that one deck, maybe 2 if you try to do like the Groovy Cat and the other, the Spirit, and then build up your hero power, then use your hero power, then play this. But also, if you're doing that, like you're waiting till turn 9, again, they do have taunt at least, so that's somewhat of an immediate board impact. But Kraken, you and I were talking about this last night, and I thought it worked the way that you thought initially, of like, oh, like your hero power, let's say your hero power is 2 attack and 1 armor. I was like, cool, that's 3, right? 2 and 1 is 3, so you'd get like 4/4. No, that's not how it works. It's the attack
was
and
a
the
really
armor
sad scene.
independent.
Just imagine it. It was me, Azalea, and Tonberry Blue sitting in a call making this deck, and we were very excited because we thought it worked the other way. I'm like, dude, we can make like 40 power in one go.
Yeah,
And then, like,
right? Like,
and Ton even posted the deck on Twitter, and then like we Ridiculous had like put tagged Blizzard guy in it, and the guy's like, no, it's separate, and we're like, no.
Yeah. I wanted it to be like added together because the little clip that was played for the reveal of it, you do just see it as 5 attack, 5 armor from the hero power. So they become 6/6s, but it wasn't kind of indicated before that, I guess, that they were independent because it was equal, right? They were both 5, so they became 6/6 taunts. I think if the little video maybe had shown that they were different, that could have been a bigger indication and like really, in your face, like, hey, these are, different. Maybe it does end up being enough stats. We were talking about some of the other bodies, just the stat pile being good enough. But you're really going to have to do a lot of work to get those stats, and that's what I don't like about it.
Yeah, we'll just have to see.
Yeah, that's I think that's too much work. I give that a 2. Let me change my rating down because there's no way.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It's a very weird card.
If it was games this turn or this game, that'd be broken.
You know what?
I'm
gonna give it a 1. I'm gonna give it a 1 just so I can give it a cool nickname. I'm gonna call it Spreading Vague because I had no idea how it worked.
Love it.